Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, so welcome back to MXGP Pro. So we're lining up for the second race in America as Ivanov gets underway on our inside, and we've got 30 minutes plus 2 laps of fun here. Let's see what Hillman can do, where he can get clipped from down the backside. Well, is that Libra or is his teammate? It's Patrell gets the whole shot. Well done from the French veteran. It's Hillman trying to force his way through into the lead. Not quite, up into third though. Up into second actually, ahead of Seawer, behind Patrell. Through the left. Does Hillman take it? Not quite. Patrell's got the drive off the corner. And Hillman looking to bounce back after a disappointing end to the first race. Still got a podium, still gain points on Jonas. But it could have been a victory. He led for so long in that race. So it'll be interesting to see his tactics in this race then. Does he let Patrell run away, or is he going to sit behind him as Richmond gets that jump wrong? He's got Seawer behind as a bit of a cork in a bottle as well. He could hold up all his championship rivals while he gets away. Saying that Olsen's now by as Hillman wide. Lucky to get away with that one. Once again, he's got a 4-leaf clover on him, doesn't he? To go into the right hander. That's such a tricky corner to get right. You think, oh, I can brake hard, I can try and drive the bike into there, but there's nothing coming back from that corner. Doesn't want you to drive hard into it. As Jonas and Bogas are battling over fourth. As Hillman crosses the line in second, just ahead of Olsen. Now these two battled over third in the first race. Could be battling for the win here as Hillman wide in the left-hander. That's sloppy. As Patrell got superb pace in the opening. Through that's on his Yamaha. There's Jonas and Bogas still battling hard over fourth behind. No Son of Prado, your first race winner as well. So he's down the order, but he could have a race a bit like Jonas then. It seems like the KTM twins having a bit of a role reversal here in the second race. Jonas going to be up front. Prado going to be stuck in the pack. It's once again sloppy on the exit, Hillman. Too much ready. Clip the inside of the corner there as well. It's not been a great second lap. But he has managed to hold off Olsen, importantly. Now can he get this section right? Then it's the inside of Patrell. Over the jump. Veteran very cautious. Haven't got the inside line, got the lead. Now can he run away like he did in that first race? A bit briefly. Oh, will Patrell wipe him out into the right-hander? Very rude. I thought these guys liked each other. So pushes Patrell wide in the next left-hander and blocks him into the right. Or into the left, should I say. For the final corner through the right-hander, Patrell's still got the inside, and look at them on top of each other. Battling for the lead. And then for the first left, Hillman as he finally got it. Looks like he has. He's ahead of the Frenchman. That was some work. The Frenchman's still there, nicking to get back by. That's a nice move into the tight left. Now will Hillman once again just run away? Or not? Very wide there. Luckily rejoin in time. For the officials time to get back on his bike. This one gets a nice smooth exit into the whoop section, over the jump, over the tabletop. And very good in this double left section. And over this as well. Expecting to pull away a bit from Patrell in this section, especially with a smooth exit like that into this jump section. Over the tabletop as well. No clipping from behind this time from the Frenchman. So Hillman's got a gap. Now can he pull away and achieve what he couldn't in the first race? So once again, he'll be gaining points out of Jonas. Remains like this, decent points as well. Could be very close for the lead as he dips into the 43s immediately. And Olsen battling with Jonas now for third. That's good for Hillman to see. His main rival is a bit preoccupied with a fast guy in Olsen as well. And this has Farner. As Hillman, no! Lands it. Obviously not. Oh, and he's been wiped out by Patriel. You can see the Frenchman doing that from a mile off. Already had one wipe at Hillman, so in the space of a corner, with a jump, he's down to 5th. From the lead. I think that friendship is over between Patriel and Hillman after this race. It's been all over Bogues. He wants to chase down that top 3 immediately. Because if he knows if Olsen or Jonas get by the Frenchman, they could be away. And Hillman immediately past Bogues. Around the outside, into 4th. There's Olsen in 3rd as Jonas trying to get past Patriel. That's the worst scenario for Hillman if he does get past the Frenchman. Frenchman standing strong though at the moment through the right. Then into the left. Over the jump. There's no Jonas by. Down the inside of Patriel. Frenchman couldn't even hold him off for a lap. How much use is he? There's him lost 5 seconds at that. Thanks to his fault and the Frenchman. And he's got to get on it immediately. He can't afford Jonas to get away in the lead. Because all he gained in that first race will be cancelled out. Oh, he's allowed to land it this time. Thanks, game. Very kind of you. Even though that was exactly like the last lap. As we've got Bogues behind, dropping back behind Covington and Hunter Lawrence. And Hillman caught up to the top 3. Now how quick you're going to get past Olsen and Patriel. No, he's side by side with Olsen, who's held up by Patriel. And look at that, Jonas getting around the 2nd lead already. So when down the inside of Olsen, forces the Husqvarna wide. Very aggressive. And Hillman down the inside of Patriel immediately. For 2nd. Just like that move he did for the lead from the Frenchman. Now he's got old Jonas in front. Now this is the battle we want. Jonas v Hillman, not just in the championship, but on track as well. Here in America. 1st and 2nd. The veteran against the young gun. The reigning Supercross champion against, I believe, the reigning MX2 champion. Let's see what happens. Hillman got a great run through the first left. Massive jump as well, almost into Jonas, giving him a little nudge. He's got the inside line into the left. Not quite. Jonas holds on. As he gets a great run over the right hand. He's looking to the outside, looking to the inside of Jonas. Oh, he gets the traction though, does the KTM. Oh, but Hillman gets the whoop section right and takes the lead. Fantastic battling here between the pair. Now we see if the KTM's going to battle back. Just like Prado did in that first race, or if Jonas, he's got nothing. Apply to Hillman. He didn't show good pace in that first race, did he? Jonas scraping the top 5. So we'll see if Hillman can make the break in this middle third of the race. The first third going to plan. He's in the lead. This middle third is about running away. I know what he was able to do in that first race. No, hit the sign. Hillman down. But he slowed down Jonas. And look at this, as Varner twins. That's the top 4 all together. And Pacho's taken the lead. So Hillman, after his third mistake, he's made as many mistakes in this race as he did in the first race, has he? I'm pretty sure he has. There's the top 5 all together then. And Hillman down the inside, the American hero. Oh, we won't be getting any free beers from the fans here now. More likely to get something else in his face. As Patriel, the good thing for him is Patriel's back ahead of Jonas. The cork is back on the bottle. And look at the top 3 virtually together. So he went over the whoop section. That's the top 5 are all together here in America. Fantastic racing. Close racing. So we're looking to the outside of Olsen in the jump. But Dane defends him though. Not like Patriel was able to do in that section. Now Hillman looking to get the traction over the jumps. Looks like Olsen's got it. Now Hillman down the inside. No, not able to get the traction from the corners. That is something to work on with this setup. Just not getting traction out of the corners, is Hillman. And now Covington's down the inside. Someone goes into the Alpine sign. Alpine Stars sign. You know, they're a very good sponsor. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Someone's on a 43.3. Was that Hillman or was that someone else? As Patriel is still leading the way. Well, he's got 4 very hungry riders on his tail. Most of all, this Kawasaki rider and the American in front on home turf and the Husqvarna. So went over the jump. Not close enough to Covington to make the move. There's Olsen wide in front. As he go over this right hand, Hillman's got the inside of the line on Covington. He's really been held up by Olsen. He just batters Hillman wide. Stern defence from the Dane. Obviously not happy about Hillman's aggressive manoeuvres earlier in this race. And actually these Husqvarna twins are dropping back from the top 2, which is not good for Hillman. And they go very slow over the jump as Covington to make the move on Olsen. And Hillman to make the move on both of them. As he slot through, no, Covington fighting back as they approach the halfway mark of this manic race. Oh, Hillman really dug it in there. He's up into third as Jonas trying to make the move on Patriel for the lead. He's got the inside on the Frenchman again into that left-hander. This side makes it stick. Once again, when Hillman gets by and wants Patriel to hold up Jonas, he doesn't do it as all. Hillman survives, colliding with the side just as he gets into Covington. Rides that first left-hander very aggressively. Now he's got a couple seconds gap to Jonas. Can you make this up in the second half of this race? It's not like before where he's just a second back. Oh no, that's a big jump. Oh, he survives. He's allowed to survive that time. How kind of you, game. That's all. Jonas has messed up though. Patriel in the lead at the halfway mark of this race. The championship contenders behind battling for seconds. Yamaha man enduring this race. Everyone falling off around him and fighting hard while he just leads away. And now Hillman ahead of Covington. Getting a bite between him and Jonas as he... Yes. Just. Now can he chase down the Frenchman? As all, Jonas has followed him by though, past Covington. That's not good. So he needs to get past Patriel to get a bite between him and Jonas. No, he's down. Which is weird because he was able to do that in the first race and previously. So it's like the 4th or 5th mistake from Hillman. Somehow he still survives and pushes Jonas right. The gloves are off in this championship battle, no doubt. And look at the Husqvarna twins behind. Oh, he's pushed Hillman wide as Covington. And now here's Prado. Look at this top 6 all together. Well, second to sit for. There's a bit of a gap to Patriel and the lead as Hillman. No, he's been taken out by Prado. And now look at the Suzuki's coming onto the scene. What a crazy race as Hillman's made, I don't know how many mistakes now. He's been wiped out a couple of times. Lucky for him, everyone is close together so he can continue racing hard. But Patriel in the lead, the Frenchman doing a number on everyone this race just by standing up. St. Hillman's had 6 or 7 mistakes this race, an unacceptable number, especially compared to the first race. But he's still right in the hunt. Unbelievably. Not if he rides like that though, that was stupid. Oh, there's whip section and Sewell blocking him. To be fair, Hillman came from a ways back there. As we go into the fast left, a bit wide from Hillman on the exit. Into the bit out of the groove into the next corner. And then down the inside through the right. He's taken over 7th. So that's 1 off the board. Now he's just got 6 more riders to overtake. Next up on the list, I believe, is Hunter Lawrence and the other Suzuki. And a superb race ahead of his teammate. And it is. So Hillman losing the rear slightly through that left-hander. This track's so hard and tough now. There's no traction in it at all. As Hillman tries to defend from Sewell. Sewell, don't be battling too hard, otherwise you'll fall. As he lands on Hillman. Swiss just demounting himself there. What a dismount. But Hillman now free to try and catch up. This first third has gone horribly. It has not gone well at all. Hillman was leading, remember, heading into this third. Now he's battling to be in the top 5. But look at the train in front. The row of riders. They're all trying to catch down Patriel. He's just 5 seconds up the road. He has not been able to put away the Frenchman. He's been able to hold the lead with around a second gap. That's about it. It's Hillman now all over Hunter Lawrence. Down the inside into the fast left. Hillman runs very wide though. Able to make the move over the right though, is he? Australian holding the inside. Or outside, should I say, for the next right. Hillman makes the move into 6th. As we approach the final third of a manic race here. As we've got the Husqvarna's twins, sandwiching Prado. Covington in 5th. Olsen in 3rd. Jonas chasing down Patriel. They've made a gap. They have made a gap. What are these 3 doing in front? How are they so slow? Hillman into the 44s. He needs 43s. Needs 42s for that first race. As he's very quick in that first left-hander. As we go into the final third of the race, what a horror show the second third has been for him though. Battling for the lead, and now he's battling to be on the podium now. Got 4 riders in a row here. While Jonas is catching Patrell for the lead. He needs to dispatch these 3 as quick as he can. Because look at that couple seconds gap. That's all. Hillman almost loses it there. Trying so hard in that whoop section. He gets down the inside of Covington, who did not have a good run. So that's 1 down. And Olsen defending half on Prado in front, it looks like. As Prado messes up, Hillman down the inside of the Spaniard. Now down the inside of Olsen into the right-hander. As quick as I said it, he does get into 3rd. Now the chase down the top 2. It's a total opposite of the first race where Hillman was slowing down in the lead, making mistakes. Now he's on the attack, charging through the field as Jonas has caught up to Patrell. They overtake the Frenchman into phase spot. No, he's not close enough. Another lap though, another lap. Hillman, you've got a lap to gain 3 seconds in it, it's like in front. As he goes wide in the final corner, sets a 42.2. Oh, he's bringing it. He's bringing it this race. That's all very wide in the first left. Then into the right. Needs another 42. Over the jump. As Jonas is all over the back of Patriel. And if he's past the Frenchman, it's game over. I think Hillman knows that. As Covington and Olsen are battling behind to be best of the Husqvarnas. But that's only for 4th. As Jonas all over the back of Patriel for the lead. As here comes Hillman charging. The gap's around a second now. As we go for the fast left. Could be even less. As he really takes the bike into that slow left-hander. We know how good he is through the right-handers. The gap is less than a second now. As he's just holding onto the bike just about. He has closed it in a lap. As Jonas making the move. No, Patrol says no. Well, he could be setting up the Frenchman for his favourite left-hander coming up. But here comes Hillman to join in the battle. Oh, he's upset. Jonas. Oh, he's gone wide. Forced wide by Jonas. So he can't make the move into that left-hander. As Hillman sets another 42. As now we've got 3 fighting for the win. Just about 5 or 6 laps to go. Here in a crazy race in America. That's all. Jonas wide. Could he be setting up Hillman for a dive into the left-hander? Hillman tries, hits the sign. That's clumsy. That would give Patriel some breathing room. Some much needed breathing room for the Frenchman. But now Hillman right in the tail of his championship rival. How important could this race be in the context of the championship? If Hillman wins this. Of course, it's the second race he normally does. As he tries to dive down the inside of his rival, carries so much speed into the left. How about through the right? He's got the run down the inside of Jonas. And takes over second. Really is getting elbows out with his championship rival, isn't he? Forced him back there. Almost expected Jonas dive there into the next right, but instead he slows so much that Jonas can battle back through the next left. Hillman got the run off the corner and blocks Jonas into the next left. Does he? No, Jonas forces a wheel wide. Hillman forces back through the final corner. He does a 45. That's how hard they're battling. Over a second while Patrol's racing away in the lead. They give him a couple second gap, the Frenchman. Let's see if Hillman can close back up though. in the final 5 minutes of this race. I want it to end. Can we go on for another hour? Hillman so mistake-ridden in that middle third. You could have thought he'd drop out of battling for the win. But it stayed close in front. That train. The Patrell train. It departed though with Jonas on board. And now Hillman's kind of just ridden onto the side. A stowaway. It's now the main rival for the Frenchman, for the Yamaha. A rare victory this season it could be for them. It could be another one, an important one for Hillman as through the right. He's side by side with Patriel. And Hillman takes it, does he, on the exit? He had enough of his bike alongside. He does. But Patriel dives into the right hander. Hillman got the inside though for next left. And holds on. He's got the lead from the Frenchman now. Can the Frenchman hold off Jonas finally this race? For the third time I'm asking. Someone crosses the line with round 4 laps remaining. Now this is when he was making mistakes and was weak in that first race. So often in the second races, he's the total opposite. He's bounced back in this race. Can he end it this occasion with the victory? Take the overall victory in America as well? Maybe. It depends where Prado is. If he's recovered to battle for that 3rd place, or 4th place, should we say? Actually, no, Hillman would still be in front, wouldn't he? 3rd and 1st, so yeah. Hillman wins here, he gets the overall here in America, an important overall. A vital overall victory as well. Could be right on the neck of Jonas, breathing down it hard. With just a couple of rounds remaining. Near in America and a circuit where I'm not sure what we expected from the Kawasaki and Hillman. Thought it could have been a bogey circuit I would expect maybe the next race to be. But it hasn't proved to be. It's proved to be like Switzerland but with less mistakes. I like Sweden with more mistakes. That's why he didn't win that first race. Oh, he could win this second one as he's still setting 42s despite messing up that final corner. He is still pushing incredibly hard, Hillman. As he will have 4 laps to go. As he slows down by 20 seconds this lap. Again, a bit like the first race, but unlikely. There's who's in second. Is it Patriel or is it Jonas? This track so messed up after these couple of races. Again, battling for traction hard, but Hillman's still able to set his best laps of the weekend so far. He's consistently in the 42s now. Now he's trying to be consistently in the 43s in the first race. So it's not just track evolution, it's Hillman evolution as well over these 2 races every weekend. And once again proven to be so much stronger in the second race. So that's a bit wide over the right. Lucky that banking saved him though. And much better run through the next right as well, beautifully smooth. And clears the tabletop easily. And that right-hander nailed it. A late apex. Remember. So easy to get that corner wrong and be slow in the apex, but not on that occasion for Hillman. You can afford to slide the bike slightly into that left-hander. And through the final corner much smoother. He sets a 43. He doesn't matter though. He's built a lead in this race. Something we thought he did in the first race, but didn't, really. In reality, Prado was all over him. Doesn't look like Pacho's got the pace to match him, though. He's made the break. And this side, there's a bit of a queue behind the Frenchman. Or is that Jonas with a queue behind him? I believe it'd be more likely to be the Frenchman who's got that queue behind him. Hillman beautiful over this section now. And good enough for exit into this warp section to carry a decent amount of speed. Bit leery through the left though at the end. As you've got 2.5 laps to go. It's official. Here in America. It's all very wide from Hillman. Just about recovers. But he's learned that you can be so aggressive into those double lefts. That's where he's been gaining so much time on everyone else, which leads into that right hand section afterwards, that jump, or those couple of jumps. And that's been vital to learn and know and execute in this race, those passes. Get up the order. To be in this position with 2 laps to go, he gets back into the 42s, almost messes it up though with another mistake. But once again he's ridden to the occasion, rose to the occasion in the second race, and like he failed to do in the first race, just crumbled a bit before coming back in those last couple of laps, but it was too little too late by then. On this occasion, he's had to fight back through the field. And maybe the most important thing is he managed to get through that battle for 5th to 3rd at the time, past the Husqvarnas and Prado so quickly. He didn't allow Jonas or Pacho to get away. He was able to close that gap within a lap with his 42. What a lap that was. What a race this has been. What a battle it has been for the most part. Absolute fantastic battling between the top 8. That's how close it was at the halfway mark. The top 8 within a couple of seconds of each other. Now it's a bit more spread out at the end of this race. It looks like Pacho's going to get a well-earned podium. Or I hope he does, the Frenchman. He's perhaps been the best rider this race. Been mistake-free. Just being consistent at his own pace. Maybe not the top pace on that Yamaha, but meant he was in the lead for a long time this race. But again, like Hillman, perhaps just didn't have the pace in the end. And oh, Jonas has got by for second. No! Frenchman battles back immediately as we're on the final lap here in America. What a couple of races it has brought us. As no, Jonas is getting past Patrell. His favourite left-hander, no doubt. But Patrell's fighting back hard. He wants that second. He's earned that second. But he's got a couple of Husqvarnas as well behind. If he battles too hard, they could sneak by. A home hero could sneak by and get a podium. Covington. Or Olsen. Or even Prado. Battle Hillman for the overall. That's still up for grabs, you never know. I think we're just the right side of that rut. And set him up to overtake the back marker into the left. Let's go over the tabletops easily. That's with just half of that to go. What a race for the championship as well if Pacho holds on to second. Bit unlikely, unfortunately, in the Frenchman's case, that Yamaha just does not have the pace of the KTM or the Husqvarna or the Kawasaki of Hillman. That's all Hillman down on the final lap. I'm surprised that hasn't happened more often into that corner, because you are braking so hard, so deep into it with that late apex, as I said. Still, he stayed ahead of the lapped rider, so that rider have one less lap to do as he go through The final corner. Slide through the final corner. Across the line for victory. Finally in America. So in the end, Hillman wins by just over 6 seconds ahead of Jonas. Oh, Patriel couldn't hold on for second, but he still gets to spray the champagne in third. Very well deserved for the Frenchman. Half a second ahead of Covington. He gets home take on here so far. As Prado rounds out the top 5 ahead of Olsen. Then the Hunter Lawrence. That's big in the championship as well. Olsen outside the top 5. Hunter Lawrence, great result in 7th ahead. Obviously, we're just 16 seconds off the win as well. Pretty close for Suzuki. In Bogas in 9th, and the Honda rounds out the top 10 in of Leiber. What about the other American on the Kawasaki? Down in 19th as Petrov gets a holiday home in 15th. Well done to the Bulgarian. While his fellow countryman Ivanov is in last. As the American knowing how to manage the rhythm of the race is crucial. Often need to a victory like Hillman's, really like you. Petrov is definitely a challenging track, but Hillman's dominated and brought the victory home. We're not sure we like you, Patriel, after that race. We'll be neutral, okay? And get out of here, Bogas. Ruined all our plans. What a shame. What plans for you, Bogas? You're never going to win. As Hillman gets the overall by 4 points ahead of Prado. Cohen gets a podium in the end on home turf. Well, he got second, of course, in the first race. As Jonas in 4th loses 7 points to Hillman, but that was a good recovery job in the second race. Ahead of Patro, who finishes in 5th. Olsen 6th. Siwa 7th. And Olsen loses 12 points to Hillman and 5 points to Jonas. Is he out of it, maybe? Into the final 2 races. Siwa just beat his teammate Lawrence to 7 by 2 points. Then Bogas and the Honda rounds out the top 10 ahead of the Belgians of Leiber and Van Dotnik. Then we've got Sterry Ward. Watson gets the overall home in 15th. As Petrov in 17th. Ivanov in last. So overall, with just 2 rounds remaining, 4 races, Jonas leads Hillman by 10 points. With Covington in 3rd of his teammate Olsen. As he's 25 points behind Hillman, 35 points back of Jonas with just 100 points to play for. I think it is a 2-horse race heading to the final 2 rounds with Olsen in 4th out of it now. 50 points back. Then we've got Prado in 5th, definitely out of it, 80 points behind. Then Patriel in 6th, just a bit lonely, 96 points behind Garcia, but 49 ahead of Siwa. He's almost 100 points ahead of his teammate Lawrence. And we've got Leiber and Bogas. That's a very close battle for 8th, just 11 points separate those 3. We've got the Honda in 11th, the Muse, the Brit in 12th. We've got Sterry getting the championship holiday home in 15th, 3 points ahead of Watson. That's a very good battle for 15th. There's Petrov in 22nd. Sue rounds out the top 20, and right at the back is the South African. Has lots of credit earned, lots of fame earned as well. And next time we do head to Assen then, and the Netherlands, the penultimate round of the season round, a very tricky track, very fast track, but with some very tight bends. Not much rhythm round it. It's mainly just about going around those corners fast as possible, and of course with those straights as well. It could lead to lots of overtaking with those tight corners. You can see the flip-flop there towards the back straight or the start-finish straight. And so can Hillman grab 10 points in Jonas and perhaps the lead heading to the final round of the season. We'll find out next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.